Hello students, today we will learn about the obstructive urolithiasis. As we know that urine is naturally an aqueous environment intended to dispose of metabolic waste products in a dissolved form. But whenever these waste products occur in the undissolved form, the problem of uroliths occurs. Here we can define the urolith as the precipitation and then aggregation of crystalline and the organic matrix at one or more locations that may be present anywhere in the urinary tract due to the supersaturation of urine with these crystalloid substances. And according to the location of the urinary calculi, it may be either nephrolith, means presence of stones in the kidney, ureterolith, present in ureters. If it is present in the bladder, it is systolith or the urosystolith, and if it is present in urethra, it is called urethrolith. Now, here we can see the precipitation and aggregation. When the urine becomes supersaturated with these dissolved salts, the salts may precipitate to form the crystals, and this condition is known as crystalluria. And if these crystals are not excreted or removed, they may aggregate into the solid concretions which are known as calculi or stone. Here we can see the etiology of the urolith formation. It's the urinary concentration, means the concentration of these solids are increased in the urine. It may be either due to the diet rich in phosphorus and magnesium. We will see that the stones are of different types. The chemical composition of each and every stone is different. So, the etiology varies from the case to case. Here we can see that if we fed the animal with the diet rich in phosphorus and magnesium, such as the grains contains low calcium and phosphorus, so there the phosphorus is higher. The animals on high grain diet, they form the struvite uroliths. We will see each and every stone later on. Then feeding the silica, that is the roughage or the calcium rich diet, it leads to the silicate stones or the calcium carbonate uroliths. If the high level of the inorganic contents in the water and feed, then decreased water intake in the winter or restricted water supply in the extreme summer, that is in the drought conditions where the water concentration is lower, so that the urinary concentration increase and it predisposes the animal to each and every type of the stones. Next, in male animals, early castration, it leads to the underdevelopment of penis and urethra, which are predisposed to the obstruction by the uroliths. Then some urinary alkalizing or acidic agents present in the diet. Then administration of the NSAIDs in the dehydrated animals. Then high mucoprotein content, it may act as a binder for naturally abundant minerals in equine urine. In the equine urine, we can see that the mucoprotein is naturally present in the urine and it predisposes the animal for the stone formation. Then any ascending urinary tract infection. Then transmitting the infection from the infected bitches. Then deficiency of vitamin A. If the vitamin A deficient is there, the desquamation of the epithelium occurs, which acts as a nidus around which the salt deposition occurs. Then the diet rich in spinach and tomatoes in the dogs, it predisposes the animal to the oxalate crystals. Here we can see that what is the effect of the urinary pH on the stone formation. We can see that if the mineral is present in the dissolved form, it passes excreted through the urine. But if the pH is changed, they are unable to dissolve and precipitate and then aggregate. Here we can see that the solubility of the struvites and the phosphate minerals, this is decreased in case of alkaline urine. So, in the other words, we can say that in the alkaline urine, struvite and the phosphate stones formation occurs, and in the acidic urine, the stones of urates, cysteine, oxalates, carbonates, silicates and xanthine, they are found. In the horses, urine is rich in calcium carbonate, so the calculi mostly consist of calcium carbonate which accumulate over the mucoproteins. With an overview, here we can see that in case of dog, cat and human, where the pH is acidic, but due to some infection the pH changes and it goes to the alkaline. So here there are the two most common stones present in the dogs and cats. First is the struvite, another one is the calcium oxalate. But over the past 20 years, what it had that the cases of the struvite are decreasing and the calcium oxalate are increasing. So now at the present scenario we can say that the struvite and calcium oxalate, they are present both in the equal amount, near about 40 to 50% of the cases in the dogs and cats are of struvite and the calcium oxalate. The composition of the struvite we can see here is the magnesium ammonium phosphate, and it is more in the female dogs as compared to the male dogs. Here we can see the calcium, it is present in the calcium oxalate and calcium phosphate, and in both of them the calcium oxalate stones are very abundant. Then which are the lessly present are the urate, it is the third after the struvite and the calcium oxalate. The cases of urate are also found, and among them the ammonium urates are near about 10 to 15%. Then sodium urate and uric acid also, and other are the cysteine, xanthine and silicates and many other. Here we can see the overview that the struvites are mostly associated with urinary tract infection of urease producing Staphylococcus intermedius and the Proteus, while in the cats they are mostly sterile, means no infection is present in case of cats. Rarely it may occur, but in general no infection in case of cats with the struvite stone formation occurs. Treatment, and later on we will see. Then the calcium oxalate, it's occur mostly in cats, and it may occur due to either the excess calcium feeding and intestinal uptake, that is the absorptive calciuria, impaired renal conservation, it means renal leak calciuria, or the excessive skeletal immobilization of calcium in the blood, that is the resorptive calciuria. So these three factors, they predisposes the cats to the calcium oxalate. Now we will see the urates. All we know that the commonest stone that is found in the dogs is struvite, but in case of Dalmatian it is urates, not the struvite. In these animals, because of some specific reason, these crystals or stones are found. In these animals, what is the less soluble waste product of the nucleic acid metabolism, that is the urate, is not converted to the more soluble allantoin in the liver because of reduced hepatic transport. Later on we will see in the detail. And the second one reason is decreased proximal tubular resorption of this uric acid. So such animals suffer from ammonium urate stones if fed with the diet rich in the animal products. So be cautious in case of Dalmatian. And the another reason where this another breeds also the urate crystals are found, and those animals may be suffered with hepatic insufficiency, that is the congenital problem, we called it PSS, that is portosystemic shunt, and the breeds which suffer from this condition is Pekingese, Lhasa Apso. They may form the ammonium acid urates stones as a result of increased renal excretion of ammonium urates.